This guy's situation is so freaking complex. It's insane. So I'm gonna go over the situation, and then I'm gonna go through and break down my thoughts on what he asked me. So this guy wrote me and he said, I am a widower of 2 years. I met a woman whose life is complex and it's messing with my head. I'd already be out. I'm sorry. I'm too old. I'm like, anytime I'm looking at a woman that I'm dating and I can see her family life's messed up, her work situation messed up, maybe she just got out of a rehab center or she's got like kids or whatever, I'm already out because life is already hard. I'm not trying to make life harder based on the person that I'm with, because who you pick really is determined like how easy or hard your life is going to be. Like you can have a hard enough life as it is, and have somebody come along that just makes things a bit easier. But I don't want you guys to put on the cape and be like, I'm going to make this woman's life easier. Chances are you're probably not going to do it. So you look at a woman's life, you say objectively, she looks like she's pretty even keel and that she could have a good head on her shoulders. I'm going to go this route versus what a lot of guys do, which is, oh, hey, you know what? She has a lot of problems, but I can go there and save her. That's not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's just not. So anyway, but he says, she's from the Philippines and is 41 years old. Her ex-husband is now 70. I'm already out. I'm sorry. She's 41 and she dated a guy or with a guy that was 29 years older than her. And that's now over, but there's more happening, right? But I'd already be like, and I'm not against older dudes dating younger women, but this already feels suspect. So then he says her ex-husband is now 70 and they have a 15-year-old child together. They've been divorced for several years. Since then, she has had multiple relationships, all of which had failed. Obviously, if she's dating you, that had to be true. Somehow, after her last breakup, she ended up back at her ex-husband's house. He let her stay, and she's been there ever since. How many red flags do we need before we say this chick is out? That's a lot. So, single divorced mom with 15-year-old kid who still lives in her ex's house for several years after the divorce. None of these would indicate that she's a good person to try to date. And I'm stressing this because, you know, as guys, we like to think we're the ones that are doing all the right stuff and it's the women that are messing up. But you're seeing women that have crappy situations and saying, I want to try that out. That's on you, guy, for choosing that. So then he says, I came into her life 2 years ago through a mutual friend and we hit it off. Things were great at first. Long story short, we moved in together, got engaged, and then started fighting. I am not even a little bit surprised that happened. She almost seemed narcissistic, often playing the victim. In the long run, her ex-husband, whom I met once, turned out to be an old, frail, pathetic man who claims to be a God-loving person. I confronted him and asked, why do you let her stay with you when she's with another man? Let her go and live her life. His response was, I can't because she's the boy's mother. If she knocks on the door, I let her in. What am I supposed to do? I mean, she's technically playing two simps at both ends. So, but I mean, kudos to this guy for thinking about, we have a kid together. I don't want him to be in dire straits because his mom's not here. So he's trying to be a caring ex-husband guy, but like this is a mother that is clearly using her ex, using for emotional manipulation and also to have a place to stay. Not good things. And doesn't bode well for what she could potentially do to this guy should he decide to continue to stick with her. So then he says, I told him, tell her to pick up the kid and do what every other divorced couple does. Have shared weekends and holidays at their own residences, not yours. Well, understand, guy, it's admirable that you're saying to this guy, don't let her stay here. But at the end of the day, she's also making choices. She's choosing to go to her ex-husband's house and stay there. She could very well say, you know what? I got a new guy now. He wants to live together with me. And so I'm going to completely have my ex's house as no longer an option. Is she doing that? She is not. And she's a grown woman. She's 41. She's long past the age where her brain has solidified and knows what to do and what not to do. She's making these choices because she wants to. We can't change that, guys. So then he says, now she has completely withdrawn from me, given back the engagement ring, and moved back into his house. There is no sexual relationship between them as far as you're being told. But he gives her every comfort she needs. She loves her chickens, her dogs, her kid, her plants. He lets her come and go like a feral cat and doesn't get involved. Meanwhile, he just sits in his recliner looking up Russian women, thinking he's going to find someone who won't financially abuse him. Okay, so he's not really your issue other than she lives at his house. He says, on the other hand, I've been trying to get her back to the point of being desperate and frankly stupid. I know I shouldn't, especially at my age. I don't know how old this guy is. Anyway, he says, but I can't help it. We were supposed to meet this weekend, and she told me her address is now back at his place again. She claims I forced her to leave her kid, her life, her friends, and that her job is closer to his house than mine. Well, I'll say this. I don't think that you necessarily forced her. I mean, you told the ex-husband, hey, I want her to live with me, right? But this is an example of what narcissists do, is they make you think that the things that she's doing is because of stuff that you did. And that by you wanting me to live with you because we're engaged and are going to get married, you're forcing me to make decisions. And so I don't feel that that's good because, oh my God, like you're making me make all these decisions and whatnot. Like you're doing what a guy that's engaged to a woman would do, which is, hey, we're engaged. You want to like live together? And she's saying, no, I don't want to do that. I want to live with my ex-husband still. And how dare you make me, your future wife, want to live with you? Can you see how gaslighting that is? Like, that's insane. So, oh my God. So then he says, I don't know what to do. I feel grossly manipulated. And honestly, I feel weak for chasing someone who doesn't seem to value me. I've never been divorced. My wife died of a brain hemorrhage during cancer treatment. I'm so sorry if you do. That sucks. My dad died when I was 9 years old after 6 months of having cancer. So I get that's just like a jarring thing when that happens, you know? I've never been with a divorced woman. And let me tell you, this is hell. I feel outdated, like an 8-track tape player in an internet-driven world. 8 tracks, for you guys that don't know, were before tapes even. Okay. Anyway, I love her deeply, and this situation is tearing me apart. It's tearing up my heart. I'm not with you. I hate being in this house alone. My kids are grown and gone. Meanwhile, her ex uses their child as bait. He has custody. I wish he were gone. I don't want to unalive him, but I just wish he would disappear. Any man in my position would feel the same way. He knows exactly what he's doing, and it's destroying my life, if not already destroying what we had together. So this woman has done a great job at setting things up in a way to where you're going to blame all of this on the ex-husband. And none of this is his fault, aside from maybe the divorce. Maybe he's I don't know who decided to divorce whom, but it seems as though, like, regardless, she's still going back to his place. He's still trying to spend time with him. Now, granted, they got a kid together, so that's the excuse, but the ex-husband is doing nothing wrong. He has a right to be at his house and invite him whoever he wants. The problem is the chick that you're attracted to. Now, I will say, I feel for you. I get you feel as though you're making these stupid situations or these stupid, you're making these stupid decisions about this woman. And hey, I get it, because real talk, we as humans are designed to be with other people. We are not meant to be alone, despite of what TikTok and YouTube and all these things will have you believe that, oh, men and women should just not be together and stop dating. No, we're meant to be together, right? But so with that, sometimes our emotions and the things that we want emotionally are going to override the logic in our brain that tells us this is not a good option. Sometimes we are made to believe that the option in front of us is our only option, and that if we try to dump this person, what are the chances that there's other options that are out there that are going to accept me for me? So I understand that that's what's going on in your head. The problem is she understands that too, and she's using it to her advantage to emotionally manipulate you and also emotionally manipulate her ex-husband. So I can feel sorry for you and I can empathize with your situation. I've definitely in my past been a guy that dealt with this kind of thing before, and I want to stress this now, this is not the kind of woman that is going to be good for your psyche in the long run. She's going to be the kind of woman that is she's already divorced one guy and is now using him for his resources. Who's to say she's not going to do the same to you? Because people typically repeat patterns. If she's using her ex now, then if you guys get together and then break up, she could take it for your money. She could try to take pieces of your house or whatever you got going on like that, because she's already displaying that, you know? And so that's it. This is why I get mad at guys when they get angry at women and say things like, well, all women are just trying to use this guys, and whatever. But if we're honest, guys, we also have emotions. We get emotionally invested. And sometimes we allow our emotions to blind us from the fact that the woman in front of us is a horrible, horrible choice. So in terms of, you wrote me, so I'm assuming you're asking me what what should be done in the situation. And my honest suggestion is that, unfortunately, this is not a good choice. So I would leave her the heck alone. I would say you've dodged the bullet because you've signed no paperwork. You haven't actually gotten married yet. And so you owe her nothing. So the hardest part for you is going to be having to go through the emotional journey of getting rid of those feelings for this person, because you're seeing the positive parts of her from the past and thinking that she's going to eventually do that stuff again. And she's not. Like, she's not a good person. She's not going to be that person that's going to suddenly change and be nice to you again or want to live with you. She's showing you exactly who she is. Please stop ignoring how people actually are when they show you. If she's showing you that she's about using people and about manipulation and about blaming you for stuff all the time, this does not get better just because you guys get married. Like, marriage isn't like, poof, oh, now we're better people. That's not how this is going to ever work, okay? So let's get rid of her and think about the fact that you were married once and you somehow managed to get this woman. If you got at least 2 women, you can get another woman. And I don't know how you met this one, but you met her through a friend of yours, right? So there are other ways to meet women that are out there that would actually be far better choices. And you have to believe in the abundant mindset that there are other women out there that actually have value to them, that will actually show you what you're worth and be willing to actually date. All right. So I don't know if that's the answer you wanted to hear, but that's the answer I got. So hopefully it helps you out. Hey there, thanks for tuning in to Harry Dating Convos. Don't forget to visit HarryWilmington.com to download my free ebook, Texting Women Like a Boss. And while you're there, if you're ready to take things to the next level with your dating life, check out the Get Girls Academy membership program for exclusive strategies and live coaching. Go to HarryWilmington.com to learn more and join today. Lastly, if you've got a question you'd like answered on one of these shows, leave a comment below or write me at HarryWilmington@gmail.com. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.